Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, all options are on the table. The Commander-in-Chief responds to the latest missile launch out of North Korea. Plus, the Congressional delegation is traveling through Guam and the region to assess the island's military readiness. And a local Catholic schoolteacher is under arrest and now facing charges of criminal sexual conduct.
Half a day and good evening.
Following North Korea's latest missile launch, President Trump says all options are on the table. On Tuesday, the communist country launched a missile that flew over Japan, with North Korean media reporting Guam could be next.
Despite the ramped-up rhetoric, island leaders maintain there's no threat to the territory. Sabrina Salas-Matanani reports.
That's scary. It is scary. But, you know, again, we got to leave our lives in God's hands. He has control.
Although island residents like Antoinette Sanchez of Agate are watching what's happening with North Korea, it's not stopping her from going about with her daily routine. This while global leaders are calling on North Korea to knock it off.
Enough is enough.
Following North Korea's recent launch of an intermediate-range ballistic missile over Japan, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, says it's time to get tougher.
They have violated every single UN Security Council resolution that we've had, and so I think something serious has to happen.
The North Korean missile flew over Hokkaido before splashing into the ocean 1,600 miles away. Japanese ambassador to the United Nations, Nobushige Takamizawa.
This is not acceptable, and we again condemn the DPRK in the strongest terms.
Reacting to the missile launch, President Trump said all options are on the table, but didn't provide specifics. Instead, the president giving a vague, quote, "we'll see." And for many island residents like Elaine Druckman of Harmon, that's all we can really do.
I'm just kind of looking at it where we hope it doesn't happen. But if it does, I hope we're ready for it. And just pray. You know, that's all we can do is pray.
Despite North Korea ramping up rhetoric, Guam's threat level has not changed. Guam Homeland Security reminds everyone to have their emergency procedures in place. In the event of a ballistic missile threat to Guam, residents and visitors can expect to hear the All Hazards Alert warning system. As well, an emergency alert will also go out through local media. Now, if that happens, you're advised to shelter in place in a concrete structure and remain indoors until the all clear is given. Bottom line, however, Guam Homeland Security reminds residents that the territory is well protected and that the military's capabilities are more than competent and stand ready to defend the U.S., its territories, and allies. Joe Cruz of Dededo says that's good enough.
I'm very confident. We're all standing strong as how we're united.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas-Matanani.
Thanks, Brew. And late this afternoon, Governor Eddie Calvo releasing a special video message to reassure everyone that we are safe and that everything continues to be business as usual.
Our Homeland Security communicates regularly with our counterparts in the Department of Defense. Additionally, the White House is closely watching North Korea. Guam is very well protected, so we encourage our island residents to continue their everyday routines and enjoy our beautiful island paradise.
You can watch the message in its entirety on our website.
A congressional delegation is traveling through Guam and the region to assess military readiness, just as aggressions continue to surface from China and North Korea.
Issa Baza met with them this morning. She has the story.
Assessing military capabilities and expanding knowledge of the capabilities of our nation's allies in the Indo-Asia Pacific region. That's the goal of a trip to Guam by a congressional delegation led by Chairman of the Sea Power and Projection Forces Subcommittee of the House Armed Services Committee, Congressman Rob Whitman. Whitman is currently here in Guam along with Congresswoman Malin Berdelio, meeting with local military officials. The delegation is also visiting with nearby countries including Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and India.
We had an opportunity to have some very frank and direct conversations with those countries, with our military leaders, and also understanding what needs to be done in the future. Also for them to understand not just United States concerns, but also the concerns of Guam.
As for the one-day visit to Guam, Berdalio says they met with Andersen Air Force Base Commander Brigadier General Douglas Cox and Joint Region Marianas Commander Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield.
We were out at Andersen Air Force Base. We went out on the flight line, looked at the bombers out there, and also visited with the Navy. So you could be assured that we have a strong military presence.
However, concerns over readiness in the region linger after two naval warships, the USS John McCain and USS Fitzgerald, experienced fatal collisions in the past few months.
I was down there just looking right into the huge hole in the side of that ship. It was horrific.
We had a very frank conversation of a classified nature with the new commander of the 7th Fleet, Admiral Sawyer, and we had, I believe, the type of constructive dialogue that we need to understand how these things happen, understand what is the Navy doing to make sure these things don't happen in the future.
Whenever there's anything like this, they always think, well, maybe terrorism or whatever the case might be. But that investigation is ongoing.
I still think that the elements of diplomacy as well as military options should all be considered. I think everybody, though, fully understands the ramifications of military action.
But heated rhetoric like this is not going to get us anywhere.
Whitman emphasized that a unified and multilateral approach is needed to help deter North Korea from further provocations and advancement of its nuclear program, adding that China is a key player due to its economic influence.
It can't be the United States acting unilaterally.
The delegates will be sharing the findings of this trip with Congress, as well as Defense Secretary James Mattis and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson upon their return to Washington, D.C. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
A woman who claims she had a bomb and was with North Korea pleaded not guilty in Superior Court today. 27-year-old Yoshi Bermudez is charged with terroristic conduct as a third-degree felony. Customs officers inspected a woman arriving from Singapore early this month. That's when she allegedly claimed she had a bomb in her bags and was even a serial killer. She even claimed she was with North Korea and that North Korea should just bomb Guam. She also admitted to swallowing cocaine. Bermudez pleaded not guilty by reason of mental defect. A motion was filed to have her evaluated. She is scheduled to return to court on September 7th.
A Catholic school teacher was arrested earlier today and charged with second-degree criminal sexual conduct and child abuse. KUAM News has learned the teacher accused is sports director, 53-year-old Perry Corpus and Nicholas of Bishop Baumgardner Memorial Catholic School. Police say that the parents alleged that a school official inappropriately touched their 6th grade daughter last school year. According to the school's website, St. Nicholas teaches 5th through 8th grade PE at the Sinahanya campus. The incident was forwarded to Child Protective Services and the Guam Police Department. St. Nicholas cooperated with authorities. He was arrested and placed on administrative leave.
While she's famous for disco anthems, including If I Can't Have You and Hello Stranger, the only hits Yvonne Elliman Alexander is churning out these days are from the drug detector dogs. Earlier this month, the Grammy Award winner and her husband Alan were picked up at the Guam airport on drug charges.
The arrest turned their short visit to perform a benefit concert into an indefinite stay. Now they're asking the court to allow them to return home to Hawaii to tend to family matters.
Can't find my way home.
And home is Aloha State. On Wednesday, Yvonne Elliman Alexander and husband Alan made their plea to the court to return to Hawaii to tend to family matters. According to defense's motion to modify conditions of release, Elliman's mother is 97 years old and suffers from dementia and requires constant attention. The motion states, quote, her mother calls out for her daughter every hour, end quote. Also at issue is Elliman's health. Prior to her trip to Guam, she underwent lumbar surgery and requires rehabilitation. As we reported, the couple was arrested on Guam on August 15. After one night in jail, they were released on a $10,000 performance bond. The couple allegedly had in their possession 3.3 grams of marijuana and 3.5 grams of ice with a glass pipe. In court on Wednesday, the prosecution objected to the couple's travel, arguing all criminal defendants should be treated the same way. Prosecution also noted the amount of drugs in question is problematic, citing the street value of methamphetamine at $500 per gram. Judge Vern Perez advised parties he'd be inclined to grant defense's motion. Defense attorney Mike Phillips.
The key is to make sure that the conditions are identical to what we have on Guam. So that would include drug testing a couple times a week, maybe, and a facility that the court feels is satisfactory. We'll work with probation here also and make sure that they're satisfied. That's really the key.
The government has until September 5th to indict the couple on first and third degree felony drug charges. Phillips says he's looking to resolve the cases.
We're going to try and do our best with the AG, but if not, then they'll return. They may return anyway for different reasons or maybe at the end of the case.
And as they say in showbiz, the show must go on, and it did. Pending drug charges and even a request from the Archdiocese of Agana not to hold the Mount Carmel Catholic School benefit concert could stop Elliman from taking the stage for the sold-out show on August 19.
I completely understand their position. Obviously, with the work that the students have completed and the effort that they made in preparation for the concert, we made the decision that it should go through. And we respect that our leaders in the church have a different view, and our action and our decision to go forward was not intended in any way of disrespect.
A return hearing is set for Friday. Elliman's arrest not hampering her feelings about Guam.
We live at home too, but as far as the people, this is our favorite place.
One of 6 Department of Corrections officers charged in a scheme to smuggle contraband into the prison has resigned. DOC Director Tony Lamarena confirming Corrections Officer Fermin Maritita stepped down from the job on Monday. Last week, he, along with officers Frankie Rosalind, Jeff Limo, Jerry Huckug, and Jerome St. Nicholas, were arrested. The officers still with the department were placed on admin leave with pay. DOC civilian Roxanne Huckug and DPW worker Ronald Menno, along with inmates Sean Johnson and Bruno Simmons, are also charged for their alleged part in giving bribes and conspiracy to commit promotion of major prison contraband. The next court date is set for September 14th.
A bid by Original Teads and landowners to expedite a financial settlement from Gov Guam has been denied by the federal court. Lead plaintiff Benny Crawford and others were seeking to compel the Guam Ancestral Lands Commission to compensate them for property now under the use by the Guam Airport Authority. The issue goes back to post-war days when the military condemned the land to build the former Naval Air Station Agana. Many landowners received compensation, land returns, or exchanges, but others, such as Crawford, were not fully resolved. He argues that, among other things, certain Gov Guam revenues violate the Constitution. The case has dragged on for more than a decade, and in her decision, Judge Frances Tadinko Gatewood wrote that, quote, Crawford's frustration is understandable, end quote, but she adds that generally the most effective remedies for delay are available through the political process rather than the judicial process.
Well, tragedy to report from Tumon Bay. A man pulled out of Gun Beach waters on Tuesday evening has been ID'd as 57-year-old Jim Bradshaw. An autopsy performed today concluded he died from asphyxia due to drowning. The medical examiner reporting Bradshaw had intended to scuba dive, but the current was rough. He was later found floating face down and pulled to shore by friends.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming of KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
It's a beautiful day.
we rely on the people we trust,
It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, health care that's always there for you.
This is Tabby. Tabby. Tabby's service provider is IT&E. This allows her to walk on campus without having to rely on Wi-Fi.
Hey, Abby. Hey, I switched to IT&E student plan just like you. I love how affordable their plan is. I'm so glad I switched to IT&E. What?
Get up to 5 gigs a month for just $30 and the first 3 months free at IT&E.
Hyundai's summer clearance event is happening now at KUAM's best dealership, Cars Plus and Mighty. With financing as low as 1.99%. There's no better time to drive a new Hyundai Accent, ranked highest in initial quality, starting at just $11,995. Or the new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995. SUV lovers, check out the new Hyundai Tucson starting at $19,995. Plus, every new Hyundai gets KUAM's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's our Hyundai summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh! Ruby Tuesday puts the O in dinner combos with Garden Bar Plus entrees for only $20.99. Choose salmon moco, petite sirloin, or pesto chicken pasta. Only at Ruby Tuesday. Oh!
At Shell, it's about offering more than just fuel. It's about providing service to people. From hot coffees to warm welcomes, from clean bathrooms to fresh food, we're on a mission to make you leave happier than when you arrived. So whatever your journey, we're here. Welcome to service. Welcome to Shell. Serving the islands for over 30 years. Share your story at Shell Foodies Guam on Instagram and Facebook. Hashtag Station Stories, hashtag Shell Guam.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Welcome back. It was well into the 11th hour. Lawmakers passing the FY 2018 budget with a vote of 12-3. Voting against the measure was Senators Mike Sinicolas, Frank Uggan, and Will Castro. Instead of the initially proposed biannual budget, lawmakers passed a one-year budget, $688 million for the general fund and $271 million for special funds, including tax refunds, making for a grand total of $959 million. The substituted budget slashes $34 million from Governor Eddie Calvo's executive budget request.
The solution to the hospital's chronic budget woes is simply a matter of reprioritizing spending. That was the message from Senator Michael Sinicolas in a speech Wednesday before the Chamber of Commerce.
Sinicolas saying slashing medical entitlements will provide GMH with the revenue it needs to become healthy. Nestor Lacanto reports.
Sinicolas says public spending on local health care has ballooned to $70 million since 2010. Which doesn't include money to meet the chronic shortfall at the hospital, which he says averages about $27 million a year.
If we were able to reprioritize our public spending so we can make sure that we're paying down the shortfall rather than having the money go into other areas, then we can address the GMH problem without having to raise taxes or borrow money.
Reprioritizing means taking money from one public program and using it for another. What would he slash? The local medically indigent program and the local matching funds for the federal Medicaid program.
If we were to be able to reprogram some of that funding in order to meet GMH's critical needs, then I think it would be a win-win for those very same patrons of those entitlement programs, because not only would there still be a Medicaid program existing, but there also would be a GMH that's fully funded.
The Sinicolas plan is in contrast to bills by the governor, which call for a $125 million bond to renovate a wing of the hospital and turn it into a money-making outpatient services facility, and raising the business privilege tax from 4% to 4.75% to pay for the bond and to cover the chronic GMH operational shortfall. It's legislation Sinicolas opposes.
Raising the GRT is going to put tremendous burden on the very people that it's trying to help. It's going to raise medical costs, it's going to raise food costs, it's going to result in probably a less healthy environment.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lacanto.
We reached out to the governor's office for comment, but no response as of news time. A community coming together. A memorial ceremony was held this afternoon on Naval Base Guam for the 10 USS John McCain sailors who died in the tragic wreck 1 week ago.
Valerie Maige has the story.
A somber afternoon. Members of Guam's Navy community gathering to pay tribute to their fallen brothers off of the Yokosuka-based guided missile destroyer, the USS John S. McCain.
Commanding Officer of Naval Base Guam, Captain Han Shali, spoke fondly of the 10 USS McCain sailors and spoke of the heroic efforts of the crew following the collision.
Our 10 brothers on McCain have been tested, and they have borne the ultimate strain. they have given all in service. Today, 10 links in our Navy's chain stand empty. Honor the fallen with your strength, repair our Navy's cable, forge renewed bonds with our shipmates' families, and never forget those we have lost.
The USS McCain is currently docked at the naval base in Changi, Singapore, following the tragic August 21st collision with the Liberian oil tanker, the Alnic MC, east of the Malacca Strait. Search and rescue efforts went on for several days before the Navy confirmed the remains of all 10 sailors were recovered on Monday. This is the second collision involving a Yokosuka-based destroyer in recent months, after the USS Fitzgerald collided with the Philippine-flagged container ship in June. The Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral John Richardson, has since called for a Navy fleet-wide operational pause. Senior Chief Petty Officer Jeff Maige served on the USS McCain for 3 years, just before returning to Guam 5 months ago. He was at this afternoon's ceremony, and the tragedy of the collision is very close to home. In a written statement, Maige says, quote, "When you're in the Navy, you're a family. Our camaraderie on board the McCain is unique. These men were more than our shipmates. They were our brothers. It was an honor to know them and serve with them, and knowing we've lost them is really difficult. They were some of the best men I've worked with," end quote.
Our thoughts and prayers are going out to the families and the crew of the USS John S. McCain. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Valerie Maige.
Now to the latest on the water woes affecting GDOE. School leaders confirming there are now 2 high schools that may face closure Thursday due to water issues. These include Teton High School and George Washington High School. GWA announced that it will be making repairs on the main line until midnight tonight. Superintendent John Fernandez said the department plans to purchase a water tank for Teton High School.
So we decided that, if it was a week or a month during the summer that we were waiting, that might be okay. But now we're into the school year, we wanted to go ahead and address it, and we'll deal with it as we go along.
Meanwhile, Cruz says DOE is in communication with GWA and will announce by 5 a.m. Thursday whether or not both schools will be open.
Well, the Guam Power Authority's Energy Sense rebate program is made up of 18 trade allies, each bringing unique quality services to the island's customers. Valerie Maige has this week's Think Green.
Think Green, presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
Today we bring you to AC Sales and Services in Tamuning, locally owned and in business for 11 years combined. They take pride in their products, workmanship, and community connections. Co-owner and Vice President Frank Perez says they're ready to assist you to find the perfect energy-efficient unit for your home.
You can expect service, they'll probably explain more, let you understand what you're buying, what kind of product, and ask you questions, what are you looking for, what are your needs, and what would be best for you.
At present, AC Sales and Services provides 4 inverter-type models under the UTL brand with rebates ranging from $100 to $325 and SEER ratings between 17 to 23. Perez, with years of experience in the air conditioning business, emphasizes the need for owners to ensure that not only do they find the perfect unit, but to consider the necessary maintenance units must undergo to ensure they're meeting their full potential. He says they can help customize a plan. But they've also taken it a step further and will soon be launching a new product, Action Corrosion, a special spray that protects the units from the environment, the elements, and those pesky little geckos. Now, why would your AC need protection from little house lizards? Well, Perez explains, as little as they are, they can be detrimental to your unit. Motherboards come with a hefty price tag ranging from $200 to $500.
There's a lot of circuit boards, so what's going to happen is these guys will get inside there. They're going to look for some place that's warm, which the boards do give out some heat. They're going to get in there and they're going to short out the boards, and then you're going to have to replace it.
Perez also serves in the Guam Air National Guard, and Office Manager Joan Espino spoke about AC Sales and Services' desire to help the community.
If you buy one unit, we'll give $10 per unit you buy to, I believe we talked about Erica's house, the Alley Shelter, Island Girl Power, and one of the foster homes. So we want to give back.
For more information on the rebate program, check out GuamPowerAuthority.com.
GPA continues to work with their trade allies to bring you better services and products. For this week's Think Green, I'm Valerie Maige.
Think Green, presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
Coming up, Double D has a look at local sports, but first, here's weather.
From the network that brought you up to 3 times more data comes the dawn of a new data. The epic story of Guam's only network brave enough to give 10 free gigs of bonus data on every line every month to customers who bundle their services. Reviewers are calling the offer totes awesome. Best deal ever. And yes.
Visit GTA.net for details.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adahi Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Kidus Ma'asi, Matson.
Are Mom and Dad here yet?
Not yet. We didn't get her late.
We gotta stop for cash. I forgot my card.
Just use your phone.
Right.
Forgot your Bank of Hawaii debit card? No problem, because now you can get cash with your phone with cardless cash from Bank of Hawaii. Introducing Cardless Cash. Download the Bank of Hawaii app today. Welcome to tomorrow.
I just picked up the cake for the baby shower.
Yay! You know she's having a boy, right?
Oh boy.
Buick now has an SUV for that. Introducing the new Buick Encore.
I knew I could trust you guys with the cake.
No problem. That was close.
One of 3 luxury SUVs from the new Buick.
Get 15% below MSRP on all 2017 Encore Premium vehicles. That's nearly $5,200 on this Encore. Visit AutoSpot Buick today.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. The UOG Tritons have been busy recruiting players for the men's basketball program. The team has added size and experience to lead the young squad. Big man Blake Jenkins, a 6'8" forward, will look to control the paint for UOG. The UOG Tritons basketball program is on the come up, with some big off-island recruits looking to make an impact on the upcoming GBA basketball season. The Tritons held 2-day tryouts at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse, trying to fill their 15-man roster. With 11 players already locked in, new candidates that want to get on the squad have to be full-time students and post a GPA of 2.5 or higher.
Well, I'm quite happy. I think we hired the right coaches. They've been working very hard, but this is kind of the first year that we had a full year of going out and recruit, so we were able to go find some players off island to bring in. We now got a lot more experience, a lot more height, and we think we'll be much more competitive in the leagues that we play in.
The Tritons welcome off-island recruits, 6-foot guard DiMaggio Simon out of Las Vegas, Nevada, 6'5" guard/forward A.J. Brown, who played D1 ball in New Mexico, 6'1" guard Gino Anderson, a junior college recruit from Tennessee, and forward Blake Jenkins, who stands 6'8", also out of Tennessee. Jenkins played D1 ball at Belmont University and went to 3 NCAA tournaments out of the 4 years he attended Belmont.
I just can't wait to get started with UOG. I feel like they were just one step away from last season being competitive. I feel like the new additions, me, my cousin, Gino, a couple other additions, we're really set apart from last year.
Returning players A.J. Carlos, Rafi Sablon, Giorgio Meneses, and Ryan Nagalto will be teamed up with newly acquired player Billy Belger.
Day in and day out, we're just trying to get better as a team, and we feel like if we concentrate on getting better every single day, then the results will take care of themselves.
Keeping with basketball, United and Triple J 5-star balling up at the Tamuning Gym for their Shirley's Basketball League matchup. Tony going to the rack for Triple J, assisted by teammate Castro Benjamin. Burt Wellbacher one-on-one with the defender, dribbles his way into the double team. No problem. Wellbacher back down. Turnaround pull-up jumper baseline. Drops in the bucket for 2 of his 15 points. Kent Silva dribbles around the screen and takes it through the lane. Scoop shot goes off the backboard. Ball gets tipped out to Benjamin, who was all about the Benjamin's deuce. Count it. Floater's good. Tony misses the deep ball, rebound by Arvin Domingo. United with possession going the other way. Wilbacher with the pass to Sam Dellin. Pass to Darnell Duckett. Tom Reeder blows the layup attempt. Duckett with the putback and the foul. 15 points in the game for Duckett. Triple J 5-star pulled off the win 52-44. Austin Crisostomo led all scorers in the win with 17 points. Kent Silva added 8. The Sinahana Rockers won the 2017 Sinahana Youth Basketball League 13 Under Division Championship over Team Elite 37-28 over at the Guam Elite Basketball's Elite Center in Teason. The Rockers opened the game with a 12-2 run and maintained the lead throughout the game. Aiden Santos finished the game with 16 points for the Rockers. Darren Cepeda added 12. Elite's Alexander Kamai put up 8 points in his team's losing effort. Ari Fulton chipped in with 7. Darren Cepeda was also named the championship game's most outstanding player. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Put $500 in your backpack during Nissan's Back to School Relief event. Purchase a new Nissan with payments starting as low as $76 per pay period and get $500 cash back. School supplies, uniforms, lunches, load it all up in a new Nissan, including the kids. With payments starting as low as $76 per pay period and with $500 cash back, you get an A+. For more back to school deals, go to NissanGuam.com or see your favorite sales associate at Nissan Upper Tumon.
Reduce your energy costs with GPA's Energy Sense program. Energy Sense provides cash rebates with the purchase of qualified energy-efficient air conditioners, washers, and dryers that help reduce your energy usage. Contact GPA today at 647-5787, 8 or 9 to learn more about Energy Sense and other ways to help reduce your monthly energy usage and save money by using energy more efficiently. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. Energy Sense makes good sense.
Introducing McDonald's new signature crafted recipes, like the sweet barbecue bacon sandwich, tangy barbecue sauce made with sweet onions, thick cut apple with smoked bacon, and topped with crispy golden onions, on chicken or seared beef. Introducing McDonald's new signature crafted recipes, like the maple bacon Dijon burger, apple with smoked bacon with sweet maple seasoning, grilled onions, and a creamy Dijon sauce with a hint of honey, on chicken or seared beef.
Back happy with Triple J. For a limited time, receive a free $500 Kmart gift certificate on selected new vehicles from Triple J Auto Group. Get the car, the savings, and the supplies just in time for school. 0 down and 1.9% financing on top of the class deals like the Kia Sportage at only $161 per paycheck, or the Mazda CX-3 at only $145 per paycheck, or an all-new Ford F-150 for only $266 per paycheck. Get pre-approved instantly at TripleJGuam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Stop by today. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
And now to give those birthday shouts from the Coach Stone Creamery Birthday Club. First up, happy birthday to these twins, Clinton and Claudia Sanchez.
Happy birthday, Athena Luna Bautista Caleb, turning 3.
Evelyn Begg of Foro, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Michelle Malamanga Gumabon Adams, turning 32.
Jonas Christopher Gumabon, happy 14th birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Frankie Boyag and Martinez, turning 17.
Dominique Janine Magothnia, happy 15th birthday.
And happy birthday, Jesse Mesa.
And if you want to get your birthday here, just register online, KUAM.com, include your photo, your name, and your birthday.
Stay tuned, Jason's next with Extra.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
It's your midweek edition of